We're going to do a little review on a fire starter. We bought a Duraflame fire starter. Alright, we're going to... Feels like it's just like those fire logs you buy. It's like wooden, got the wax and everything. So we'll go ahead and start ourselves a little bed of wood. Alright, we'll light the package. This is a little Duraflame fire start log, 4.5 ounces, indoor outdoor. So we'll see how this does by just lighting it on fire and see if it starts that wood inside. The paper itself is burning good, so and I got this, it was 87 cents at Walmart. So they actually look like they'd be nice little logs to take with you when you go camping or something to get your fire started. Well, it's already starting to burn, the log itself right there, so it's actually working. I'm not sure how long this log is supposed to burn for, but it's only a little 4.5 ounce one, so I wouldn't think too long, but we'll start adding wood in a minute after it gets burning. The temperature says right now that it's around 30 degrees, so this thing is actually doing pretty good. It's starting to light on the other end too. I could have lit both ends, but I only lit the one end just to see what would happen. And it actually burnt across it, so as you can see, the wood's burning pretty good, and it's starting to burn on the other side, so it's working. These little logs are kind of cool though. It's putting off a little bit of heat. You could actually, if you really wanted to, you could probably break that log into like 4 or 5 pieces and have a bunch of little fire starters. Because it doesn't look like it takes much to get them burning. Hold a little match or something against it, or a lighter, that would probably get them burning. It's kind of a neat little way to get your fire started. But 87 cents ain't too bad for this little log that you can get your fire going. Now it's already got a nice flame and it's nice and warm. So we'll go ahead and put some wood on it. Let's actually I got some wet wood right here. It's a little bit wetter, so got my little trusty little axe. I'll put some pieces of that wet wood on there and see what that does. See if that'll burn long enough to light wet wood on fire. These pieces of wood have been sitting out through the last couple rainstorms we've had over the last couple days. Plus the snow we just had that's already melting. They're already gone now. And these are actually pretty good chunks of wood, so it's not like I'm trying to put little pieces on there. So we'll see if I can get some wet wood burning. That's more realistic to camping anyway. If you go up in the mountains camping in the wintertime or the fall. I mean, I got some wood right here that I keep inside. Got a little stack of that I keep inside the house. So I can start my fires pretty easy, but this is putting off more of a blacker smoke. It's not as white like I get from actually just lighting a piece of paper and lighting dry wood on fire. But it's creating enough heat, as you can see, that the wood's actually starting to burn, and that fire starter log underneath is burning pretty good. It's just mostly burning on just the ends though. The center part down there is not burning yet, so, but it's shooting up a lot of flame around my wood. Like I said, this is wet wood. It's been sitting out. I mean, you can see how wet that is. It's just like soaked. So we'll see if this will get wet wood burning. That is the true test. Definitely puts off a really nice flame. It's already putting off a lot of heat, and the wet wood's just starting to scar a little bit, but it wouldn't burn by itself. Main thing is to get a base of coals, and once you get the base and it nice and hot, then you can put in the wood and then it'll start burning really good. But right now I got to get it where it's starting to dry out a little bit, and that fire starter is acting like the base where it's getting it nice and hot underneath. So should get that wood burning pretty quick. But that's a pretty dang good flame it's putting off. And most of that's coming off of that log, that fire starter underneath. And it's still just barely burning at the ends. I mean, with the heat of it coming up is getting the wood to burn too, but barely. But the fire starter is still just burning at the ends. In the middle right down there, there's no flame. But it's creating enough heat where it's shooting the flame up through the wood, the wet wood. So those are pretty cool little fire starters. You know, if you ever, when you go camping or something or hiking, carry a couple of those in your backpack or whatever, or your pocket. I didn't know how well it would burn, but it's actually burning pretty good. You can see right there, there's flame there on the end and flame down there, and it's shooting up through the wood, but there's really no flame right there in the center part of it, so it's got a lot of burn time left. So actually that little 87-cent little log is a pretty good deal. I'm starting to hear the popping. Now it's starting to, you can see where the wood's starting to burn now, where the wet wood is burning. And it's starting to pop, so starting to get the fire in the wood. So yes, these little fire starters are definitely worth it. Especially if you're up in the mountains camping, and you know, it's always nice to have a couple of those handy. Just keep them in your camping gear or whatever, and 'cause you never know when you could use them. You got wet wood or whatever, and as you can see, it's actually lighting that wet wood, and I already had it cut small, so it wasn't like a big piece that was a big half, or a section of log that it would take forever for it to soak up any water. This has been pieces like this size that have been sitting out here for about 2 weeks. And you can see now it's transferring to the wood, and it's getting pretty warm. So it's getting to the point where it would almost be self-sufficient, as you might want to put it, however you want to put it, I guess. Because the wet wood has to get a pretty good fire going on and a pretty good base to keep it actually burning. Now it looks like that whole log's about on fire underneath there, but that's going pretty good. I mean, off of wet wood, I mean, look at that. That thing is soaked. Set some of my other wet wood around the base in there, and so that heat will dry it off, because I am going to sit around the fire tonight for a couple hours. Alright y'all, that was my review on that fire starter. If you think it's something you'd like, well, definitely worth it for getting wet wood started. I mean, heck, look at that. And this was all soaking wet wood. A lot of those little fire starters, those ones that, you only get a little bit of burn off of, I don't know how well they'd work on wet wood. But this one gives off enough heat and burns for such a long time that it helps to dry that wood out to get it burning. So anyway, y'all have a good one. I'm going to enjoy my fire.